So I believe that all beliefs are created from past experiences. And a belief is just a thought you keep thinking over and over again. We have a lot of beliefs about things that we're not even conscious of. The person, when they sit down and they decide to make a different choice, and this is the hardest part about change, the moment you decide to make a different choice, you're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to leave the familiar known, right? And the body, which has been conditioned into the past, into the known, which has been conditioned to be the mind. The servant's the master, and it's going to try to talk you out of that future that is unfamiliar, or unknown, or unpredictable. And so that's the moment where the beliefs start coming up. You know, you're not good enough, this is too hard, you'll never change, you can't create anything, it's this person's fault, there's something wrong with me, I want to quit. And then people say like, oh, well, I have ADD, you know, I can't focus my mind. Because sitting with yourself and becoming conscious of all of those unconscious thoughts means now you're no longer the programmer. The moment you become conscious of that unconscious belief, the greater the probability that you won't go unconscious to it again. And that's how you become more conscious, is catching yourself going unconscious, and it becomes a skill. The more you practice it, the better you get at going like, I'm just not going to believe that any longer. The person then who blames and complains and makes excuses and feels sorry for themselves and behaves a certain way, well, those are habits, right? And those are unconscious programmed behaviors. The only way you're going to change is to become conscious that you complain all day long, or you blame somebody for your life. A happy person would never want to be that, want to behave that way, and would never want to be in a relationship with a person who complains all the time. Why would you, right? Today, I'm going to behave in a different way and make a different choice. I'm going to just stay conscious to not do these things. Okay, and then the person says, well, I feel unworthy, I feel stressed, I feel unhappy, I feel sad, I feel victimized, I feel grief, whatever. Is this the emotion that I want to have in my future? Well, no, these are emotions that are connected to experiences of the past. If I truly want love in my life, I can't feel resentment. Okay, am I willing to trade resentment for this elevated emotion? Okay, let me just remember all the times in my day, if I start noticing I feeling this emotion, I'm just going to become conscious and not go unconscious to it, and just temper it and work with it. It would make sense then, you would have to ask yourself, what do I want to believe? What is a thought that I do want to fire and wire in my brain? So with intention and with attention, if you had the person remember what they wanted to believe and keep remembering what they want to believe and keep remembering what they want to believe, they begin to install the hardware. If you keep attending to it, the hardware becomes like a software program, and now that's the new belief. I can heal. I can find the relationship. It's a voice. If the voice is no longer the disbelief, the voice is basically your future self talking to you is what it is. And belief is like pregnancy. Either you are or you're not. Okay, so if I start behaving in the old way, I know I'm gonna disbelieve. So how do I want to behave? How am I going to behave on my next date? How am I going to behave on my next Zoom meeting with my team? How am I going to behave with my children or in my family, or with my partner, with my ex? How do I want to be? And the act of rehearsing mentally in your mind who you want to be, the act of just closing your eyes and mentally rehearsing that scene literally causes the brain to look like you already did it.